Hey guys, alright, I'm going to start back on this Zenith Transoceanic, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is pull the electrolytic cap out. The parts from Mouser have not arrived yet. Don't know how long I'll get to work on it today because it's Christmas Eve, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the electrolytic cap out, the can out, and get it ready for restuffing. So let me show you where it's at. It is right there. You get my Chinese poker. It's right there. So I'm going to desolder. I'm going to make pictures, notes where all the lead placements and everything is, and make a print, draw a diagram. So I'll have pictures, a diagram of where all this stuff went. So I'll get to doing all that. And in preparation, I'll go ahead and pull this electrolytic out and get it ready for restuffing. Once the parts show up, get that restuffed first, get it back in place, and then we'll go in and start changing these capacitors right here. And should be about ready to test after we change that bad tube. So wish me luck. Okay, there's about halfway through pulling this filter can out of here. As you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3 of the connections or the caps disconnected. I still got this one to do, and I've got to do this ground wire and this ground lead. You have to take your time, and one thing about it is this is a tool that you'll need. A very small, sharp, precise pair of cutters, because believe it or not, you can reach into these terminals and grab these leads. Let me find where I'm at here. You can very lightly, don't have to cut, grab them. This makes a very good grab, and you can use these to twist the wire leads out to where they need to be. The other thing that you're going to need is a pair of small, thin needle nose. The other thing that you'll need is a pair of what do I call these things? Precision tweezers. And what I'm using is this desoldering machine by Hakko. It's a, what is that thing? FR301. You don't have to have this, but I use it to help pull out the excess solder away from the connections. And then I use my Hakko FX951 soldering station. That's my primary soldering. So anyway, that's a few of the tools that you'll need. But so far I've been working on this about 15 minutes, and I got 2 grounds to do and 1 capacitor lead to do, and this thing should be ready to come out. So I just wanted to point out the tools to you. So back in a minute. Alright, just got the capacitor out. Here it is right here. Came out of that hole right there. Thing, you got to take your time with this, guys. If you don't take your time, I mean, I can explain to you in every little detail how to do this, but honestly, you got to be mechanically inclined to a degree to work on this stuff. If you don't know how to use a pair of pliers or a soldering iron or nothing like that, or if you've never done anything mechanical, this won't make any sense to you. You got to stop, think about what you're doing and how this stuff is put together. These are called twist locks right here. What they do is they push these capacitors through these little insulators right here, and then they'll twist these tabs right here, and that's what secures the capacitor in there. So you got to reverse the procedure. When you do that, though, you have to take your time, because usually when they do that, the little tabs spread out. So you need you a nice pair of pliers like this right here to be able to reach those little tabs, that the little fingers that kind of spread out when they twist the tabs, if that makes any sense to you. You use that, and then what you do is you get it lined up to the hole and make sure it doesn't have any solder debris on it, otherwise it's not going to come out. And what you do is you just very lightly put pressure on the side of the can, like if I'm if I'm trying to get this tab loose, I'll put just a little bit of pressure on that and keep turning this back and forth till I see it move. You can see it move up and down inside the slot right here. Once you do that, you go into the next one, do the same thing, keep twisting. You may have to take your pliers, come back in here and squeeze that little finger a little bit. Keep going back and forth, take your time. If you don't, you'll break something and you'll be crying for about 3 days. Go back and forth till you do all 4 of them and you got it. Anyway, that's where I'm at now. I got the capacitor out. Now I got to get it out, the can out of the cardboard, which is a delicate operation. So I won't record that because bad things happen. So I get to that stage, I'll come back. Alright, kiddies. I've now got the can out of the tube, and the tube is intact. Yay. See that little bit of glue or tar they put on there? You got to break that. As you can see, let me get you in here where you see that little bit of tar in there. That's what they put in there. So what I basically did is used trusty old heat gun, the Harbor Freight Special Drill Master, whatever the heck that means. Heated it about like this right here. I kind of rotated it all around to don't just concentrate in one spot. Got it enough to where this tar would loosen up just a tiny bit, and also I took my X-Acto knife and very carefully went around the edge right here with my X-Acto knife. Kind of break any seal that might be around this right here, and after you heat it up a little bit, don't get too carried away. You can damage this. Anyway, just let the heat do its thing, and then I used the X-Acto to cut around this, and I was able to grab it with a pair of gloves on like this. I held this part with my hand, took a pair of needle nose, and I used this tab right here that doesn't have a hole in it. I grabbed it. The reason you want to grab the tab without a hole, if you break that, then you ain't got to worry about how you're going to put your connections back on that tab, if that makes any sense. Anyway, gave it a tug, out it came. So there, that part's done. Onward and upward. I just noticed something on this. Where's my Chinese pointer at? Lordy me. Anyway, I just noticed something about this cap. This is the Zenith part number 22-1741, and you can see that. It says it's a 60 at 150 DC, 40 at 150 DC, 20 at 150 DC, and a 200 at 10 DC. Look at this. This is the can that come out of it, if you can see it. It's a Sprague. It says here, you can read it. I don't know if you can read it or not, but it says it's a 10 at 450, 10 at 450, 10 at 450, 10 at 450. Yes, you see it. Through that horrendous glare. What do you think about that? Did Zenith get sold a weird cap way back in the day? Who knows? That's odd. That is really weird. You see it. 4 section, 10 microfarads per section according to this. That's interesting. Well, anyway, I'm going to get it apart. Alright. Let me get a little better light on this subject. There's a view screen on this little GoPro. I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, I've pulled I've used a pair of diagonal cutters. Little, what are these things? Little Exolites, I think. They're kind of tougher jaws. Got a little bit more beef to them than these Platos. These Platos are really precise. It's not made. These are made for delicate work. These are made for a little rougher work. They got a little bit tougher jaws, but I just go in sideways very carefully. You grab a little nibble, twist a little bit, just grab little nibbles, twist a little bit, and I'll just go all the way around it till it looks like that. Now the next thing I got to do is I got to put my gloves back on. I got to heat this capacitor up again. Got to heat this thing up again to loosen all the internals up, and then I can pull it out. And when I pull it out, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull on this ring here, and then you just have to be delicate. But I'll come back when I get this done, because I don't have a tripod yet for this, so I have no way of holding this. But I have another video somewhere on here of how I pull these things apart and do the work on these. If y'all want to find it in reference to that, you can. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I'm done. Alright, it was a battle to get this sucker emptied. I had to wind up taking it to my other workshop, putting it on the drill press, drilling out some holes through the center of some of this stuff. And then I took my propane torch to it and heated it up until the tar inside melted, and I was able to use a big pair of needle nose and a welding glove to hold on to this hot sucker, and I was able to just pull the center section out. And again, all these people talks about reforming caps. For every one of these I pulled out, the electrolyte has been dry. There was nothing in there anymore. And I think it's a pipe dream personally. Especially something this old, there is no such thing I think as reforming a cap, especially one of these can caps, to the point where you would trust it to work, be reliable. So that's my opinion. Now, opinions are. Anyway, I'm done now. Waiting on parts. So until I get the parts, that's as far as I can go. Okay, I have gotten the parts in from Mouser, and the next thing that I did, if you can see them, is I used my Dremel and drilled a very small hole. Let me see. Hang on. Drill a hole right in front of each terminal on each one of these. The idea is I'm going to stick these leads of these components through each one of these respective terminals, wrap it around it where I can solder it, put it all back in the can, put it back together, and continue on with this project. So anyway, on to the next phase. You know, I forgot to press the record button, but I've got the capacitors in the replacement capacitors in the can, and now I'm beginning the process of folding over the edges where I pried it apart. And I'm just basically using a little ball peen hammer and kind of doing it ball peen style, body shop style, just kind of lightly taps and just kind of rounding my taps like that, and going all the way around until this completely seals. And when I get it done, it should seal completely flat. Here's the ground wire right here that will wrap around this post here when I get it inside the radio. And this, I'm going to check it once I get through putting it back together, make sure it's good before I put it in the radio. That's where I'm at right now. Sorry I forgot to record how I did the internals, but you get to that point, you'll be able to figure it out. Do it however you want to do it. Be right back. Alright, I got the capacitor back together. Once this goes down on the circuit board or back on the chassis, you'll never know it. Kind of look like an explosive with that little pigtail on it right there. Anyway, let's fire up the Syncor. Make sure this thing actually works. So let me get rid of this lead and get a little bit different lead. Let's see, where is my lead of choice? Christmas Eve at my house, and when I'm recording this. Don't think I'm going to get this done tonight, but I'd like to at least get a few things done. So let's see, let's do aluminum electrolytic, and we're going to do the first one. We're just going to check the value. I'm not worried about the capacitance. So I'm going to connect on the ground. And we'll start at the square. I'm just going to look at the value. So aluminum electrolytic. Showing 45 microfarad on the square. And as you can see, it says 40 at 150 DC on the square. So that one's right. That's very good. And we'll come over here to this guy. Should be the half moon. Go to that. Half moon shows 66. And half moon shows 60. So there you go. That's correct. Now the triangle, I believe. Here we go. Triangle shows 20 microfarad. And the triangle says 20 microfarad. Alright, the other one is the non-marking, or blank, whatever you call it. So what this value is, it should be, what was it, 220? Well, 200 is showing 212. So that capacitor is put together right. Unbelievable. Can't believe I did that right. So now I'm just going to put it back in the radio, try to hook it all back up, and I'll get through. I'll show you what it looks like. Be right back. Alright. Been a little bit of a battle, but I think I've got all the capacitors changed. Let's see here. I've got a heck of a shadow there, don't I? Oh my gosh, let's see. There was 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 or 10 of them suckers, not counting the electrolytic. Anyway, they're changed. I should have put safety caps in here. I didn't have any. I didn't think to order them. I'll use that for a while till I can get some. So I'm ready to clean this out. Make sure, check everything for shorts. Blow it out real good. Make sure their little pieces and parts ain't shorting out anywhere. And I'll put the new tube in it. We'll put it on a Variac and see what the heck happens. Right back. Alright, here we go. Who knows? I hadn't even measured the B plus or nothing. I'm just going to turn it on, raise the voltage, and see what happens. My on-off switch ain't working too good. Appear to be drawing any current. Alright, we have turned the power on. Will it work? Will it blow up? Who knows? I sure don't. Got the new 1U4 in. Drawing just ever so slightly. A little bit of current. Not much. I don't know. Let me get this thing where I can get to it. Right back. Hey guys, it's the next day. Working on this Transoceanic, and I powered it up, and you have to excuse me, I've got a head cold or something. It's really messing with me. I don't know, have a clue what my face looks like this morning, but got all the capacitors and everything changed. Everything seems to work. Nothing blew up in that regard, and power supply wise, so everything's good there. All the tubes seem to function. I was able to get some audio through it. I had to clean several switches. Still got all the band switches I still got to clean. But there was no RF action in this thing, so let's see here. But as you can hear, there's I can run a tone through it, 455 kilohertz right here. So the IF section works. Now I don't have the antenna plugged in, which I believe is right here, and I think that might be part of the problem that's causing the receiver to be dead. And so I'm about to figure out how to get the antenna connected to this, but I'm also going to go ahead and clean these band switches, because I know they're pretty oxidized, because this radio slash phono switch right here was very oxidized. So I went ahead and used some contact cleaner on it. So I'm going to do that to the band switches, and do that, and see if I can figure out a way to get that antenna on here, and that should hopefully bring the receiver back to life. So that's where I'm at. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the antenna, the wave magnet, as it's called, back in the radio. Got the radio on. And it came on for just a second. Real loud. And then quit. What was up with that? There we go. Let me clean some tube sockets. Still. Had a little bit of action there at first, till it warmed up. And it just goes away. That's odd. Very odd. Very odd. I don't know. Let me plug this GoPro in, let it charge. Let me play with this a little bit, see what's happening. I'll be right back. GoPros are kind of weird sometimes, but look, guys, doing some voltage checks on this receiver, and some of the things that I find is right here on the converter, the 1L6, pin 2, measuring about 75 volts right here on pin 2. Then pin, let's see, which one is it? I should have 86 volts right here on pin 5. So let's measure pin 2 of the converter first. Let's get where you can see. Well, I sure can't see. Pin 2, now listen to what happens to the receiver. I can't hear no audio now. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I've got about 72 volts there on that guy. So the next thing is, let's go over to would be the screen grid, would be pin 5. I should have about 86 volts on there. So let's go to, what did I say, 5? Let's see here. I can't hardly see. Everything is wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm measuring about 20 volts. So there's a problem. Okay, so let's find out. Let's backtrack a little bit. Where does the screen grid get its voltage from? Pin 5 comes through a 68K resistor. Okay, well, I can't get this light in the right place. Anyway, here's pin 5. It's registering about 20 volts, and then I got about 25 on the other side of that 68K, which is, where the hell is it? Right here. So right this test point I have 25 volts. That's not high enough. Now let's come over straight over to pin 3 of the RF amplifier. Okay, so here's the RF amplifier here, 1U4 I believe. So let's see, 1, 2, it's this wire right here. See, there's your 25 again. So we know the voltages in this circuit's not right. Okay. So let's see here. Let me find it again. So it's this branch right here. Comes right here. And there's a C26, which is a 12 microfarad capacitor. Well, I think I see the problem. This is something I did yesterday. Here's this 68K resistor right here. That should be the plus side of it. I've got 25 volts on it. But look, this is the minus side is going here, and the positive side is going here. I believe I've got that capacitor back. Who'd have thought, right? I think I got the capacitor in backwards, and the capacitor is shorting out the line. So let me remedy that situation, and I'll bring you back. Alright, now I've got the capacitor reinstalled properly. My Syncor said that capacitor was damaged, but my old Heathkit said it was okay. So I'm not sure. Anyway, the negative side of the capacitor is supposed to go to the negative side, or the ground side of the filter can, and I had the positive side attached to the filter can, and the negative side over here on the voltage distribution rail. So I don't know how I got that backwards. I just thought the plus side was facing down. Maybe somebody replaced this capacitor before, and I just put it back in how I found it. Anyway, let's power this bad boy up and let's see what happens. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if anything at all. Anything? Nothing? No cookies? No boom? Damn, that scared the piss out of me. You ever work on something you're not quite in a good mood? I got this snotty nose that will not go away. Alright, let's check voltages. Let's see what we got this time. Oh yeah, we're up to 85 volts now. That's more like it. So, now what? I just don't have any audio. I just don't know why. Well, hell, right back. Try take 2. Well, I found the 1U5 was open, which is very odd. Don't know why. the filament was open. Been working great till I replaced that, changed that cap out. Really don't know. Ouch. Just measuring 3 volts. Measuring 3 volts on the socket. I'm sorry about that sound, y'all. I really am. This mess is killing me. 1 and 7 right here. I measured 3 volts right there. And not sure what's up with that. Let's go to the main computer where I can see better. That print is just like minuscule. I don't know what it's gotten a hold of me, but man, I wish you'd go somewhere else. Alright, the 1U5, 1 and 7 right here. I really don't want to turn that sucker on. Filament and AVC circuit. Filament supply here, B minus. Now let's see, B minus, basically the ground right here. We'll call that B minus 0. That's where you're supposed to measure. As far as I know, that's common. Right? This makes only my second one I've ever worked on. Let's say this here. All voltages measured from common return to points indicated with a DC vacuum tube voltmeter. All DC voltage measured from common return to points indicated. Got more noise around here than the law allows. So common return. Well, hell, this is the reference ground. As far as I know, everything is referenced to that. I mean everything is referenced to this right here, as you can see. And the main filter grounds should be the main reference, right? I think you would have nothing in between that, so that's where everything references to. Coming back up here, that 15 microfarad, wherever it went. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, right here. This is where that 15 micro, that 12 microfarad, I put a 15 in there, but that's where it resided right here. And the minus side went to this reference ground. So I'm calling that right. So going back over to the filament circuit. Where are you, Mr. Filament? Oh, come on now. So let's see something here. Filament circuit. These things are so weird. You've got all these here balancing resistors and equalization resistors and all that mess in it. 3V4, the 1U4, the 1L6, then the RF1U4, and then the 1U5, which is what I'm interested in right now. Pin 1 is B minus. Then 7. I'm measuring 3 volts here. Should be 1.5 volts. But if it's right here, 1 meg, 2.5 meg, 7. There's nothing else to drop that. The problem is I had audio. When I touched the grid of this output to 3V4, I had audio, which meant that these strings were working. That's really odd. B minus right here. Something's not right. I don't know what. Something I don't want to. I actually found another 1U5. I could not believe I had one in stock, and I sure hate to blow it up too. Excuse me. Stupid coughing again. Second IF secondary. Let's go back over to it. Let's have a look. You know, I was saying a while ago, this is on my second Zenith battery powered radio I've ever worked on. Second IF. So there's a detector for second IF right here. See, that pin 1 right there, according to this, is ground, common. Here's 7. Why would I get 3 volts there with this tube open? It's just a hell of a coincidence. Man, I hate to power that up. There's 1 meg here. Let's see. Come here, all the damn way over there, of course. Lost it, of course. Look over it again. Where'd he go? That's it right there. We'll just make a little mark. I think that's what that's for. Alright, now, there we go. Alright, so it comes over here. It's pins 1 and 5 of the RF amp. Goes through there to pin 7. There's that heater again. That's capacitor there. I'm not worried about that. Then this goes over here. This is weird. Let's see. There's the common right there. There's 150 right there. That's a shunt. Yeah, this is the common ground. Here's 150 ohm R4. That's a shunt resistor. Let's come back around here. Come back up here. That means the RF amp. The RF amp should have 3 volts on pin 1 and 5, right? Yeah, right there, pin. Let's go back to the 1U4 measure, pin 7 and 1.5. I mean 1 and 5, and let's see what happens. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to subject that tube. Let's put the old one back in. Well, I don't guess it matters. These things down. Let me get this radio where I can get to it. My nose is about to make me so aggravated. Everything my God, this radio is starts with a B word. Anyway, my Lord, I finally got it to make noise. There's something going on in this output circuit here. Hear that? I think it's the switch is oxidized. I'm going to have to get a varnishing tool to hold that. The little make and break contacts in there. I think it's picking up 900 kilohertz right now. I'll have some varnishing tools somewhere. It's just one of them days. Well, it is picking up something. It's just I can't pick up my local AM station unless it's off there. But it is working. This is the 1U5 right here that I just replaced. Let's see, and this 1U4 I believe is one I replaced. The converter right here. Is that the converter? forgot now. The RF amplifier right here, then the converter, and the first IF, and yeah, let's see, the converter, first IF, one of these two. Figure this thing out yet. Got a converter, IF amplifier. Yeah, the converter, which is the 1L6, which is this one. Okay, yeah, the converter. RF amplifier converter. Here we go. That's the converter, first IF amplifier, goes through here, then goes through the second IF amplifier, which is U1, U4, goes to this 455, goes into this detector, audio preamp tube, which is the 1U5, and then the 3V4, which is the output. Anywho, that tube went bad for whatever damn reason, mysterious reason. So, 2 tubes so far, a bunch of capacitors. The jumpered that. If I can figure out where my damn varnishing tool is, I'm going to clean that contact. I think that's all it is that headphone jack is just dirty. Anyway, that's where I'm at now. Now that I got the emergencies done, I'm going to fix this because that's bugging me. Then I'm going to go back and see what's up with these stages and go from there. So I'll bring you back. Okay, I got this thing semi-stable. It sounds like doo-doo, but that's because of the cotton picking fluorescent light. That's gonna make a good video one day of fixing them noisy suckers. But I went and cleaned my workbench up. Sometimes I have to clean my workbench up to get a clear mind, because this head cold, whatever the heck it is, really messing with my thought process. But anyway, while I was cleaning up my desk and everything, I happened upon that. That is what I've been looking for this whole video. Holder for my cotton picking GoPro that I've been looking for. I got this guy. That's the GoPro 3. This is the GoPro 5 holder. I knew I had one. I knew it wasn't crazy. I just couldn't find it to save my life. Anyway, with all that being said, the receiver is kind of weak. Doesn't quite want to pick up like it should, and it don't want to pick up my 540. However, the frequency is off on this thing, which means I'm going to do an AM alignment on this thing first. And want to see how well it works after the AM alignment, and then we'll attack the other bands. That's how I think I'm going to go about it. So let me go do some research, give me something to drink, give me a snack, and we'll get all this set up, and we'll see if we can make this work. So I'll bring you back. Okay. I've been messing around since about 9 o'clock with the Zenith Transoceanic in my shop. This new shop is about 2 years old, so I have been messing around with this alignment on this stupid AM section for probably at least 2 hours or more, 2.5. I've recorded a bunch of stuff, all kinds of crap. Pretty much made me look like a monkey, pretty much what most of it did, and you're not going to see any of that footage. Matter of fact, people that don't like to see me talk, well, move on. Well, what I have come across in this shop, and I've come across it before, but it is to the point now where it's ridiculous. I could not align this radio in this shop with any lights on. These fluorescent lights that I have are horrible. My little LED light that clips on that I use, that thing is horrendous. Even my flashlights create noise in the AM band, and that's one reason, ladies and gentlemen, why the AM band, the AM broadcast band, is so ancient in nowadays. Yes, it's a great medium. It reaches out when nothing else will, has the most range. However, it is so susceptible to every kind of interference you could think of, especially with all the LEDs and the crappy Chinese switch mode power supplies and all this other crap that's got going on now. Bad electrical grounds where the city, where the utility systems are not maintaining their systems. Well, boy, come off the rails on that one. Anyway, to align this radio, I had to turn off all lights, unhook my little LED light that I had, get it completely away. I got the radio aligned. It took a little work. I have the AM band, I think, aligned. Just nothing worked out right this morning. So I'm going to kind of put this radio up for a little while, put it aside. I don't know what I'll do with this video. It is presently 1:45. I will tell you one thing that I did to this radio. I noticed that when my heater that you heard just come on, the radio just went to pot. Come to find out, I'm at 117 volts coming in to the radio. However, the voltage on the output of the selenium rectifier was low, which meant the selenium rectifier was weak. So I wound up putting a silicon diode in place of it, just kind of cut the unsoldered the ballast load resistor off of the output of the old selenium rectifier, and just attaching a silicone in place of the across it. Well, not across it, but you know where the AC comes in to the ballast resistor. Anyway, that brought it from 96 volts at 117 in up to 121. I think about 116. So it brought it up 16 volts, well, probably about 18, 20 from where it was, and that helped a lot. Now the radio could suffer the lights coming on or a heater come on or something like that. It didn't bother it at all. So I'm going to put me a barrier strip, take that selenium out, put me a terminal strip in there, and install that properly. But I could not get, and I'm not sure what's up with this. I'm not really familiar with these radios, and there's people on here hopefully that is, but I could get my high end calibrated to 1600 kilohertz, but I could not get my 600 kilohertz to align. I could not get the dial to align to 600 on 600. According to the instructions that I have, and that's usually what you do, is you tune the radio for the high end, then you go in and tune the low end, and you go back and forth a couple of times, and you have it. The dial will now track. The other thing that I've noticed, that on the low end it's not very sensitive. Well, I went back and verified a few things, and one of the things I noticed that my IF was slightly off, which meant I think my signal generator might be off a little bit. I went ahead and used my Hewlett-Packard synthesized to do it, and it seemed to work out a lot better. There's a lot less distortion on it now. It relatively worked. I can hear 540 now, which is our only AM that we have other than 1680, and this radio does not go that high. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm going to clean up my desk and bench and go do something else, because between this, whatever this is with my nose and all that other stuff, and I haven't ate lunch, and this just the way things are, I'm going to have to do something with these lights. I'm thinking about just getting rid of all these lights with the ballast and going directly with what they call those things, the LEDs that are hooked directly. And if that don't work, I'm going to find me some incandescent lights to put in here, and incandescents will make that noise. Something's wrong. It should not. I've never heard lights as noisy as this, and it seems to be coming in on my electrical system. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm going to quit bantering right now and could do my thing. So this probably won't even make it in a video. I don't know. But anyway, ciao. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I started working on this Transoceanic again. The parts came in for it, and I've recorded a lot of video on it. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of frustrated with it and different things. I don't feel well. A lot of other things going on, so I've got it on the bench right now. I've been, almost said a bad word. I've been messing with it most of the morning, and it's almost 2 o'clock now, and I'm frustrated with it. I really expected it to work better. I wound up having another tube go out on it. A 1U5 went out on it. Don't know why, just did. I'm beginning to not like these little integer tubes because they seem to be very persnickety and finicky, and I don't like the way they respond to line voltages. These things apparently have low emission, and if you have any drop in line voltage, like if a heater comes on in your house or something like that, or if you're running battery and it gets low, it will fail. I'm sorry about this, guy. I'm really. Anyway, let me turn around. Where I'm at now is I just finished the AM alignment on this crazy thing. But the selenium rectifier is weak. I only was able to get about 90 volts out to where the input of the oh my gosh, the ballast tube. So I wound up just putting a little silicon rectifier in place of it, and that brought my voltage up where it should have been, about 115 measured right here. So the radio liked that a lot better. I could drop the input voltage, and it actually didn't quit playing. Had a few problems. I kept losing audio. Turns out the switch right here on the speaker jack, or the headphone jack, was corroded. I had to varnish the contacts on it. Took care of that. Had a 1U5 went out on it earlier. Right there, that tube right there, the detector audio amp tube. It just, for whatever reason, the filament opened up on it. Don't know, maybe I did something wrong, I don't know. But I had a problem with it. It would not come up and receive. Turns out I put a 15 microfarad cap right here in backwards, which meant it was a short to one of the B plus rails. I think I damaged the cap, but I didn't have a replacement, so I just reversed it, put it back in there, and let it run for now. I have to replace that cap. Anyway, I tried to do an alignment on it and got very crappy results. Various reasons, but the biggest problem I'm having, besides just my head pouring like Niagara Falls, is these stupid lights. Sorry, these damn lights. I cannot align a radio or I can't do any work on an AM radio in this shop. I have to turn these lights off. I turn both of those lights off. This light here, which is an LED light, of course, can't use that. It creates all kinds of noise. These stupid little Chinese made wall warts are horrible. Little switch mode noise generators. So the other problem that I'm having is I can't one of the things it tells you to do is set your calibrate your dial 1600 and then 600. I can get the 1600 to work, I get the 1400 to work, but it will not center on 600 at 600 kilocycles in. I cannot get it to do it. I know how they make it do it, but I'm not touching that. I don't think anybody's been in here messing around with this radio other than me. I have got it to pick up our local station. It wouldn't do that to begin with. I'm really I'm ready to be done with this thing. It's really not, this one is not fun, but I think it's just because I'm under the weather, or being whatever it is, COVID, or just a real bad head cold, or whatever the heck it is, a bad allergy. I don't know what it is. I bet I went through 100,000 napkin, paper towel, wipes. I just won't stop running. It's messing with my concentration. Anyway, that's where I'm at on this stupid thing. I think I've got the broadcast band done, but I don't like how it's not sensitive on the lower side of the band. You pick up lots of static and everything on the high end, but you can't pick it up on the low end. I don't like that. As much static and crap is on the lower end. You should be hearing static across the board, but you know, I don't know. Could be this wave magnet. It's just the way it works. It makes it real directional. Don't know. I'm not super familiar with these radios. I'm learning as I go, but I'm frustrated now because I can't leave the lights on and adjust anything on these radios, even FM sometimes. So I think this thing is off frequency a little bit. I tried to use my calibrator earlier. Thought I got it on there, but it seemed to me that the way that the IF was a little bit off when I was adjusting this radio, so I went over here and switched to the 8657, and I got better results with it. So I think the calibrator might be out of adjustment. I don't know. It's just I can't focus today. So I think I'm just going to kind of lay this, clean everything up, kind of lay it aside so it don't get damaged, and go in the house and give me something to eat. Forget about it for a day or two. Anyway, I think I'm going to just throw all this old footage away, throw it in garbage, including this one. I'm not sure I like Facebook or YouTube anymore anyway. Anyway, if this makes it to video, hope you guys had a great Christmas and hope you have a great New Year. If it don't make it to video, I guess it don't matter. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye. Okay. Well, guys, I don't know. This is one crazy video. I've been sick the last few days. I really felt like crap yesterday. I recorded a bunch of stuff. I don't know if I'll keep it or not because I really didn't feel good. My video will show that. But I've been working on this transoceanic for a couple of days now, off and on, and I made a lot of progress. The alignment went okay, except there's a couple of things I'm not really happy about. We'll go back over it, but one of the it sounded like crap, and my audio was heavily distorted and real bassy, didn't have any highs. And anyway, I found this third tube I had to replace in this set. The first tube was the what was that? The one, I forgot what it was. The 1L6, I think. Let's see, I don't remember now. These little tubes are funny. I think it was the 1L6. Well, I replaced the 1U5. Yeah, the 1U5. I replaced the 3V4, and also replaced another 1U4. So far I've had 3 tubes that I've had to change. Pile of capacitors. I went ahead and changed the selenium rectifier because it was showing it was weak. I wasn't getting my proper voltage out of it, even at 117 or modern voltage. Anyway, I did the alignment on the broadcast band. This is 540. That is my audio waveform at the speaker.
Is in the hands of, let's say, John Rich. Let's say your kids come over to John Rich's house, and I have the same books, and I show them and read them those books in my home.
Good looking audio. That's why I had to replace the 3V4. I had distorted audio. It's real, just crappy sounding. All the voltage is checked fine and all that. So I thought, well, this shouldn't do that. So I bought 3 tubes off of eBay the other day, and so far I've used all of them but one. I'm glad I did that. That was a worthwhile investment. Anyway.
Well, I can tell you,
it's not bad considering the cotton picking lights I have in this building.
Like you said earlier,
this wave magnet right here.
I had no idea, and our plea is to ensure that parents get involved, that they look at the material that is
being presented. Does a real good job of nulling out that noise.
An opportunity and a voice They can go to their local school.
Anyway, I'm getting there.
Turn off the mics here in Louisiana, John. But you're right. There were very disturbing videos around the country.
Good sounding audio now, finally. So we're making progress on this. I think now I'm going to go back and deox these band switches a little bit. We'll put a little deoxit with lubricant on this phono radio switch on the back. Then when I get all that done, I think I'm going to go back and clean the chassis a little bit. There's some surface rust on the back here. I need to look into how tragic that would be to get this plate off. So if it's going to be a big deal, I'm going to leave it alone, but if not, I might take it off and clean that surface rust off of it a little bit. And the chassis looks like it just needs a good cleaning. And I don't really want to do anything major to it. Yes, I could clean the gang switches. I don't want to do that, this radio. So, that is some good looking audio. Way different than what it was. One thing that I found with these miniature or these low voltage tubes is that they're not in the same universe that normal tubes are. They act completely different, in my opinion. I don't like them. They're too touchy. I mean, they're about as touchy as a semiconductor. I really don't know what happened to that tube yesterday. That would just quit. Filaments opened up on it. I believe it was the 1U5. Yeah, the filament just opened up on it. I don't know if I touched the wrong thing and popped the filament. I do not know. Don't think I did. They're just too touchy for me. But anyway, that's where I'm at now. I'm going to run through. I might run through the alignment again now that I can get a clean audio. Oh, there comes the propaganda.
I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. It's shaping up to be another rough day at many U.S. airports and for Southwest Air.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, that's where I'm at on this right now. So I get make another some more headway. I'll bring you back. All right. Yesterday when I was doing the alignment on the broadcast band, I was having trouble getting the dial to calibrate. And like I said, I wasn't feeling well. So I went back through the alignment, and very important, the 600 kilocycle part of the band there, you set your dial at 600, you rock C16, and your alignment port is right back here. So basically what it's telling you is, and this is where I was messing up, I couldn't get 540 to come in yesterday. It was coming in right about here. But look at it now. I'm picking it up now. Anyway, basically you just tune this dial till you pick up 600. Tweak your trimmer in the back. Tune your dial again. Retweak it. Keep going. And as I done that, my 600 was up here. It kept, finally it come down and match here. My sensitivity went way up. So now I have got a fantastic reception. My volume is about a quarter of the way up, or a third of the way, well, about a fourth of the way up. This thing is kicking butt now. So I got my broadcast alignment done right. I got it, the audio's good and clean. I'm happy with how the broadcast adjusted. So now I'm going to start on the other bands. Matter of fact, I'm going to do what I said a few minutes ago. I'm going to go ahead and re-clean these switches right here. And do all that and clean the chassis up and do that a little bit. And then I'll do the broadcast alignments. I mean, go back through all the alignments. And this thing should be good to go. So, bring you back. Alright, I got the front cover off. I was able to get this face plate out, or the the dial face off. It did have a little boo-boo there, but that was already cracked. It just touched it and it just broke off. I'm going to try to super glue it. I don't know if I even have any that works. But that's a side out of harm's reach. This is the metal back plate right here. I don't think it's going to be too bad. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit of surface rust on that. What I might do, I'm going to take it over there and probably sand it down and just paint the back of this. That's probably what I want to do. So now I'm starting on the chassis itself. And it's really just surface dirt. Really all this is. As you can see, I can get most of this with a brush, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the brush, clean away some of this stuff. I'm going to clean the switches here and give them a little douse of cleaner, and do the band switches right here, and do the back switch, a little deoxit, and clean the cabinet real good, and we'll finish the alignment on the rest of the bands, and sucker will be good to go. Close another project down for the end of this year. Alright, see you in a little while. Alright, I got the front cleaned up. I think a lot better than it was. I went ahead and let's see it. Got rid of the surface rust on the little plate, the backing plate right here. And what I did is I just sprayed some lacquer over it, lacquer, and it'll be fine. See it? I don't know if you can or not. Anyway, clean the chassis off. Used a brush, got the dust off. Used some cleaner and a paper towel and wiped it all off. Got a few little bitty spots here and there, but I'm not going to worry about it. It ain't worth the hassle to do any further than that. So that cleanup of the radio was ready. These are the band switch push buttons right here. I got to clean those. I still have to clean the cabinet. I'm not going to go too deep into that. Hadn't decided yet. Oops, this camera messed up on me. But I'm going to go blow the cobwebs out of that and clean it up, and see if I find got to do something with that Tolex covering on it. Just needs to be wiped off good. The wave magnet antenna. This is the bottom side, which is really cool. Stand out right in the wave magnet on top here. Needs a little white paint on it. I might mask this off and just drag me some across there, see if I can make that work. I don't know, depends how brave I get. So that's it. I gotta go ahead and clean the switches like I talked about, and the back switch, get that to where it works a little easier, and go from there. So I'll bring you back. Alright, after a long battle,
Are you ready to get out of the media?
this thing is ready to roll. Good as I'm gonna make it.
This is the Sean Hannity Show.
KMLB News Talk 105.7 and 540.
All right, are you tired of
There's only one station in town here. Let's see, 19. Let's see, I'm going to see if I can find 5 megahertz. Pull the antenna up. Substation.
Para enviar toda esa leche a la industria espirituana.
Tax Solutions now. Call 800-319-6697. 800-319-6697.
Well, anyway, there you go. I've got it completed. Not a lot of shortwave, I guess. But and this building is so noisy. Y'all know the story about that. But the Transoceanic's done. Looking back on it now, all the capacitors were replaced. 3 tubes, the 3V4, the 1U4, and then 1U5 were replaced. Replaced the rectifier, the selenium rectifier, with a silicone because the selenium was weak. I wasn't getting the proper B+. Had a capacitor in backwards, one of the electrolytics, a little 15 microfarad at 150, I think it was. I had it backwards, and that was causing a problem with the B+. Let's see, what else? I did an alignment on it. Being I've never aligned one of these things before, I didn't feel like recording it, which is a shame. But I did learn some stuff about these radios. There's some adjustments where you adjust the high end. You adjust, you calibrate the dial. The upper part of the dial with a one adjustment, and then you got to go back down the bottom end, and you have to find your signal, adjust your adjustment, tune your dial, and go back and forth, and it's a after it took me a few tries to get it right, but I got everything where it's supposed to be. So I think I'm done with it. I want to make me a holder for the dial light. It's got a big old 1.5 volt battery. I think what I want to do is I might just make a holder to put some 1.5s in there. I don't know yet. That's not important to me, but I'll make a holder for it. I just don't know which one I want to do yet. But anyway, it is working. I don't know how this video is going to turn out, if I even decide to print it. As I mentioned earlier, if that part makes it in the video, if I make this video at all, I have been feeling good the last 2 days. Don't feel the hottest right now, so but it was fun working on this thing to a degree. Yesterday it didn't want to behave. Every time I looked at it, something else broke on it. Why that 1U4 died, I have no idea. It's working, all I can say. I'll wait till later on tonight. I'll try it again, get out of this building and go plug it in somewhere else. Try it again somewhere else and see what it does. That's it. thank y'all for watching. Hit the like button or hit the burn up button, whatever. But it's kind of convoluted because it's the way I felt and wasn't into making movies right now. But I wanted to get this thing off my workbench. And it cleaned up really well. I'm not going to do much more with it. We'll leave it kind of like it is with all those little battle scars and stuff. Like I said again, that it has a story to tell. You know, don't know what the story is, but you can tell it's been through the ringer a couple of times. But all right, that's it. Through rambling on. You guys, thank y'all for watching. Hit the like, subscribe if you don't mind, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.